Hey everybody, welcome back to the Abingdon Co channel. My name is Abingdon, and if you are just joining us for the first time, this is the channel where we go on adventures with adventurous women. We also talk about watches, and that's what we're going to be doing today. I drove down from Las Vegas to Fountain Hills, which is in the East Valley of Phoenix, to come visit FTS, which stands for Fine Timepiece Solutions. They are assembling movements here in the United States with American and imported parts, and we're thinking that maybe I might use some of their movements in my watches. So I'm pretty excited. Let's go check it out, and why don't you follow me and we'll go see some watches. There's basically a lot of businesses in here that are all about tech, so watchmaking is going to be one of them, and then they're going to also be training and doing different things. So let's see what's inside. Good morning.
Welcome to FTS.
Thank you. So Gary, what do you do here at FTS?
So as a founding member of FTS, we set this facility up, and there's certain different responsibilities. Mine is sales and promotion. I sell the movements that we manufacture, find new clients, mostly based here in the USA, that need domestic services or prefer domestic services for assembly of complete watches, as well as to buy our AmeriQuartz and now our new Americron mechanical movements. So today, what we wanted to do was have our Chief Technical Officer, MJ, show you some of the things that it takes to build a quartz movement. I know you're very focused on empowering women in the workplace, etc. Now, 50% of our technicians are females. So you'll see that, and we'll show the clean room. We'll let you view the technicians either putting hands and dials on, doing time rate analysis and regulation, show off our new machine. They call it the Gary because I found it, the Hormec M100. This thing's awesome when you see it in action. I hope they're using it today.
I am super excited to go into the clean room. So check this out. So they change these. They change these every now and then. It's a sticky mat. So what you do is you would basically step on it and get all the crap off the bottom of your shoes, and then put on some booties. Oh, I'm sorry. So he didn't do it.
Will this fit?
We'll make it fit.
No, we have other sizes. How's that work?
Works for me.
Okay. So, meet our Chief Technical Officer, Manuel M.J. Yazigian, certified master watchmaker. This gentleman wrote the curriculum for the AWCI that they teach today.
You used to be the president.
I was the president also, but before that I was the chief instructor, watchmaking instructor, and then I also worked for Omega as the technical auditor for all the service centers all across North America. So, and then I came and joined this wonderful team here. So right now, Missy is switching stamps, so from dummy or working stamps to actual threaded stamps that are going to be used in the watch once it's
Gotcha.
once the dial is fitted on and so on.
Gotcha.
She's done this in her past life or something, so
She's a natural.
she is a
I had good teachers here.
How long have you been working with watches?
November.
Since November. So this was your
So
first.
everything that I know about watches is basically what I have learned here in these texts.
And we have KG over here. That's short for Caitlin. And her last name starts with a G. And she also started with us. She's actually our number one, meaning she's the first applicant, the first hire. And I gave her a grueling test, and she excelled in all of them. So she's So it reads now.
Why don't we let KG here
Okay.
tell us a little.
Hi, I'm Abingdon.
I'm Caitlin. Nice to meet you, but they call me KG here.
I hear everybody has an acronym.
Oh, yes.
So, very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Can you tell us what you're doing?
I'm just installing hands right now.
Okay.
On the watch. So because these are very delicate, easy to scratch hands, I have to hold, if I pick them up with my brass tweezers, it's in a certain way. So right now I already installed the hour hands, and each one is a different size.
I'm going to just come around on this side, but you keep going.
And so I have my movement holder, and you always make sure that depending on the watch or the movement it is, that the movement holder either has a jewel support or the jewel support is not touching, say, an automatic watch with the oscillating weight. So you have to make sure that everything is set. And now I have to make sure that it is so close to the dial but not enough to scratch it, and that's the fun, challenging part, and that's what I like about this work. It's challenging. So right now it is not low enough, so I'm going to go ahead and press it down. And I see that I have just a little bit amount of clearance. And so what I want to do is check to make sure that as I rotate the hour hand, it doesn't touch the dial whatsoever, all the way around. And I see that it doesn't. So that's a good thing.
Wow. That is precise.
And then at this point, because it's my minute hand, I have to make sure that its alignment is good. And that the 9, the 12, you know, the 3, the 6, and everything.
So 9 o'clock shows 9 o'clock, not
Yeah,
9:02.
exactly. And then what's next, of course, after I adjust the minute hand is the second hand. It's just you just keep going at it. I'm definitely not bored.
All right, so what else can we show you?
I don't know.
Let's, okay.
Oh, the machines.
Yeah, let me just, so we do our pressure testing here. We have our Gary, this is called the Gary, so I'm going to let Gary.
This is the Gary.
Well, I found it. This machine was actually owned by Cartier, believe it or not. We found it on the secondary market. It's a very expensive machine. It's probably the only functioning one in the USA. So come over here and walk us through the process, how they load the canisters.
We load up all the watches in here, put them back in the chamber. There's a seal, and then we can measure up to 20 bars, or 20 bars, 20 atmospheres. And we fill the chamber with air, 10, 20, so on. And then if the watch case is intact, or it is it's properly sealed, then no air will go into the case, right? It's kind of like when you test a tire for leakage. So you pump air into it, and then you submerge it in water, a tank of water. And if there's no leakage, then no bubbles will come out. Right.
So you want to go do a rivet thing and actually get hands on?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Follow the boss.
So let's see how we
Yeah,
do
show me
some
how it's
riveting.
done.
All right. So these are ESD trays. Okay. Once we complete the process, we will deposit the ECB in one of these trays. Okay. These are the negative contacts that are going to be riveted on the electronic circuit board, and this is the rivets, and these are our electronic circuit boards. So I just put it in this way if you want to take a look how it looks like.
I see.
Okay. It's important that it's sitting right in this position.
Okay.
Okay. Then I put my ECB on. Now if you notice, I'm using this orange stick to help me just okay.
Okay.
And then I grab this rivet by its cylindrical portion, and then this is the head. The head goes up.
Yep.
Now it's in.
Okay.
Now there's a foot pedal here,
Uh-huh.
and then I'm going to press this part. So, but before I do that, I just want to make sure that it's all in. Yep, it's all in. And I like to just gently, very gently, just put my stick on. So here.
That way nothing pops off or anything
Yep.
like that.
And as you can see, it's been riveted, and the negative contact is on nice and solid. Okay.
Lovely.
This is interesting to see the finesse. So she's mounting dials. Missy, you explain what you do.
All right, well, I already got this one on, so this one is just the dial. Smash it on there. So we've got
Smash it on. That's a watchmaking term.
Right?
Absolutely.
So you're grabbing what?
So this is a movement. We've got an hour wheel washer here. This guy goes on here. We give it a little spin to make sure the teeth mesh in. These are our hour wheel washers. They look like tiny little sequins. And then these guys are kind of flat. So you put them on your thumb and you give them a little once over with the tweezers. That gives it a little curl. And then you want to make sure the curl is up like that. This guy goes on the middle there.
Yes, sir.
And then we grab one of our dials, and sometimes they're dusty, so we have the compressed air to get them off. Make sure your feet are straight on the back. And then there, I don't know if you can tell, there's a teeny little notch there. So that's the notch that matches up with your stem. Line it up, give it a little press so it stays, and then we've got our watch paper. We smash it on, and you give it a flip, make sure there's no gap in there. So we've got a tiny gap. One more smash.
That was
And
too
that's
cool. So this is Kunal.
Hi,
Kunal runs the ship.
my role is whatever needs to be done, I do it, and that's about it.
Chief doer.
Yeah, I mean our history. You know, I'm lucky enough to have really, really smart, well-qualified people around me. So luckily, I don't have to do much. I just get to enjoy the ride. I think about 4 or 5 years ago, I kind of started a passion project where I was trying to build a collection of watches and ramp our way up to being a made in America watch. And really quickly we realized that there was like nothing available for us as a brand. It was very frustrating that I couldn't actually work with people in my own country. I couldn't employ people in my own country to do these kind of things. But every day is a step in the right direction for us, and you know, every time we get a chance to work with American brands, help empower them to buy something here, do something here, employ American people, that's really what we're about.
So this is the new Americron. Automatic winding mechanical movement. We will only put them in watches here.
Got it.
These first, acts. And I don't know
So
how
if
long
I
it's
sent
gonna
you
last.
my kitting, then you guys could assemble.
You would be
everything.
my favorite client on the planet, or my best client
I
on the
thought I
planet.
already was.
Is, well, you're close. But someone who wants to use our movements and have us build a watch, but gets the components to us, everything else. See, now if these were being built here, this would be part of the process.
This would be part of the process. You're always selling, Gary. You're always selling.
Well, you see these women and men in there, the skills and the attention to detail.
I love it.
This is one of our earliest. So
It's
it
an
doesn't-
early ECB, yeah?
Yeah, that is an early ECB, and it's doesn't have the stamped logo on it. Let's swap out the ECB for you. I'm gonna do that.
Cool.
You got the upgrade. So you see the difference here too. So that's the oscillating crystals in here. This one's surface mounted underneath. You don't see it here. So that's what I was talking about, the modern and the hold.
I know it's sealed, but let's go ahead and do a pressure test. Just do a quick one here, just to make sure that the gasket has been sealed properly. I'm not testing for a deep diving or anything. You know? It's a minus 0.4 vacuum pressure, so and plus 2 bars. That's plenty enough just to test that that there's no avenue of any air molecule ingression whatsoever.
Thank you so much. This was an absolute pleasure. For those of you guys have subscribed to the channel, great. We always go on different adventures and in watches and just anything. We feature our customers, our crew members. If you haven't subscribed yet, then click the subscribe button down below, hit that bell next to it so that you get notified of when our next videos are. And if you want to get some watches made in Phoenix out of Fountain Hills, then check out ftsusa.us and you'll talk to one of these guys and get some Americords or Americhrono.
Americron, our mechanical movements. That's
your
right.
mechanical movements in your watches. Thank you so much. We will see you on the next episode, and